nothing's changed in terms of how we need a week of sunshine.
Tonight on News 3 at 5, city officials across the area prepare for more rain in communities already impacted by flooding. And an update from Baraboo, where flooding also remains a major concern tonight.
This is News 3 at 5.
Hello, everybody. Happy Labor Day. Thanks for joining us tonight. Eric has the night off. We're entering the third week of record flooding in the area, and there is more rain on the way. While water levels at Lake Mendota have gone down about an inch, Madison Mayor Paul Soglin says Lake Monona has set a new record. It's currently 7.5 inches above the 100-year flood level. Street closures remain a concern on the isthmus, including 2 lanes of East Washington Avenue and East Johnson. Mayor Soglin says there isn't a threat right now to areas of Madison's west side that saw flooding last month, but if you see water on the streets, you should slow down to prevent creating waves and even more flooding.
Please get your speeds down under 5 miles an hour as you go through the standing water.
Mayor Soglin said he does not expect flooding to impact Madison's first day of school tomorrow. For a complete list of road closures in the Madison area, you can go to our website, channel3000.com. The city of Monona is also preparing for more flooding as more water is released from the Tenney locks. More street flooding is possible. Pre-filled sandbags are still available at Oneida Park, but more volunteers are needed to fill those sandbags. Officials are asking residents to check the storm drains near your homes and to clear any debris. The Baraboo River is coming back down after cresting this weekend and leaving minimal damage behind. But Sauk County is telling us they are not done with the flooding yet. Our Amy Reed just returned from Baraboo, where she met with them today, and she joins us now from the News Center. Amy?
Yeah, they told me that today's rain shouldn't affect much, but with the storms in the forecast all week, they want residents to be ready for the river to rise again. The river has gone down, though. You can see where the water was over the weekend. There's now mud all over the trail that runs along it. Some roads are still closed because of large tree branches in the way, and this house near the river lost a piece of their fence. But they told me their house is okay. Much of Baraboo got out of this with minimal damage. The county credits that to community.
It's just been absolutely amazing. It gives me goosebumps just talking about it, to see the cooperation that's gone on in Sauk County. It's unbelievable.
Sauk County is warning that more flooding could be on the way. They were on the phone with the National Weather Service this morning. Now they believe the concern is tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. They also said Baraboo saw the least problems out of Sauk County. Those other towns that were hit, Rock Springs, Reedsburg, Laval, should also be on the lookout for those storms tomorrow night.
Yep, there is much more to come. Amy Reed in the newsroom tonight. Amy, thank you. Flooding is causing the first day of school to be pushed back for students in Montello. The Montello School District is canceling classes tomorrow due to flooding. The closure is related to flooding on Highway 22. No word yet on when classes in Montello will resume. The rain today put a damper on some Labor Day festivities as well. Janesville officials decided to cancel this afternoon's Labor Day parade. With recent flooding and the chance of more rain, the Janesville Police Department says it decided that it was better to be safe than sorry. So let's get an update now on what we can expect weather-wise for the rest of tonight and into tomorrow. Gary Canalte's in the Weather Center. Gary?
Susan, more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, unfortunately, and some of those storms could bring heavy rain. So I've added alert days to the forecast for tomorrow and Wednesday. I think the best chances for heavier rainfall will be tonight and then again tomorrow night into Wednesday, but you can't rule out some isolated heavier thunderstorms during the day tomorrow as temperatures will be very high. And take a look at some of the computer model forecast. This is through early Thursday morning, and it shows the potential for about 1 to 2 inches of rain generally through southern Wisconsin, with some localized 3, 4, or 5 inch amounts, especially north and west of Madison, where the thunderstorms will be a little more numerous. Over the last 48 hours, the heaviest rains have fallen to our south, so the areas farther north have had a little bit of a break from the heavier rains, but still, most areas have picked up anywhere from about 1 to 4 inches of rain through southern Wisconsin, heaviest amounts over the southwestern portion of the state. You can see the first batch of showers and storms moving to the north. More storms are developing farther to the south in Illinois and Iowa. Those are heading in our direction. There's also a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow as well. Low temperatures this morning started out in the upper 60s. We'll see similar temperatures tomorrow. Temperatures are held down because of the cloud cover and showers in the lower 70s, but those dew point temperatures remain very high, and that means more showers and storms could bring heavier rainfall, and we have them off and on in the forecast through tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a warmer day with a high temperature of 83. That's your First Alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. Quick reminder, too, you can download our First Alert weather and traffic app. It's free on all of your mobile devices. It provides accurate forecasts plus up-to-the-minute traffic information. Just search for Channel 3000 First Alert weather and traffic to download the app. New tonight at 5, police in Reedsburg are investigating the death of a 15-year-old boy after his father reported him dead. 49-year-old Kehinde Amosbai reported that his son had died on Friday. Police say around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, police responded to his home on Alexander Avenue near Westside Elementary School. Officers say they had to force entry because the doors were padlocked from the inside. Inside the home, police found one boy dead and another boy, an extremely thin and weak 11-year-old. Amosbai told police he is a religious minister and his family was going through a fast since the middle of July. Amosbai's wife was also very thin. Both parents were arrested by Reedsburg police Sunday. The 11-year-old boy is being treated at the Reedsburg Area Medical Center and being placed in protective custody. We are waiting to hear the results of an autopsy. Some good news to report tonight. An abducted 3-year-old girl in Milwaukee was found safe today. According to the Wisconsin Crime Alert Network, Phoenix Dickens was abducted from her home around 2:30 in the morning. 2 men allegedly armed with guns entered the home and took the girl. Hours later, just after 6 a.m., an Amber Alert was issued asking for the public's help. Loved ones say they got a call around 9:30 saying that Dickens was found safe in a bush. Although this day has been quite the emotional roller coaster, her godmother and daycare providers say they can now breathe a sigh of relief.
I just thank God that they didn't do nothing to her, that they found her in the bushes and that they didn't find her somewhere dead somewhere.
In that moment when you were able to hold her, what did that feel like?
Man, it was amazing. I was just in tears. I was just so happy to see her. She was hugging me tight.
Police are still looking for both suspects tonight. The search for a Madison man missing overseas continues today. 25-year-old Jonathan Luskin has been missing since June when he disappeared while vacationing in Slovenia. Luskin told friends he was going to hike through a national park in Slovenia. His father, Alan, says there continues to be a lack of clues about his whereabouts. Alan has been trying to track his son using Jonathan's searches on social media as well as maps that he downloaded. Police in Slovenia say they are still actively investigating. New tonight at 5, a group of Madison alders will review a study of downtown drinking and Mayor Soglin's proposal to ban any new alcohol licenses in certain areas. The mayor argues excessive drinking is directly connected to an uptick of violence around State Street. The city is being sued by the company that owns Taco Bell after Mayor Soglin vetoed a liquor license for the fast food chain. The franchise claims the decision was arbitrary in nature. The committee is planning to meet to discuss this issue tomorrow afternoon. Anyone registering their car in the city of Madison will likely have to pay an extra $17 later this fall. The Common Council is expected to approve a wheel tax at its meeting tomorrow. It would go into effect in October. The fees would go directly toward the cost of road improvements and repairs around the city. Now, this is in addition to the $28 annual fee in Dane County and $75 the state charges for vehicle registration each year. Still to come tonight on News 3 at 5, it's back to school tomorrow, and that means the flu season isn't far behind. When we come back, new recommendations that doctors are giving parents about preventing their children from getting the flu. And a day off on Wall Street today as investors enjoyed the Labor Day holiday. News 3 at 5 will be right back after a quick break.
Okay.
Pediatricians around the country want parents to start thinking about the flu season now. CBS News' Laura Podesta reports.
It's still summer, but parents should already be preparing for the upcoming flu season. The American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending all children 6 months and older get a flu shot.
We want to try to get the flu vaccine for children as early as possible in the season. So ideally, you would like for your child to be vaccinated before the end of October.
Last year's flu season was one of the worst on record. 179 children died and thousands more were hospitalized. 80% of kids who died were not vaccinated. That's why mom Jenny Carson says she's not taking any chances with her 3-year-old Jacob.
As a parent, you want to protect your children as much as possible.
This season, the AAP is recommending the flu shot for kids as the primary choice over the nasal spray. Experts say the shot has provided the most consistent protection against flu strains in recent years.
So that's great.
While no vaccine offers 100% protection, Dr. Madhavi Kapoor of NYU Langone Health says symptoms can be less severe for people who get the shot.
You're far less likely to have complications from the flu and also be hospitalized as a result of the flu. So much better to have at least some protection than none at all.
For parents like Jenny, that's comforting. She says she'll be back to Dr. Kapoor's office as soon as the flu shots come in. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
And doctors also recommend that pregnant women get a flu shot because they can pass some protection on to their newborn. Out to the weather patio now, where the rain continues to fall. Big day tomorrow, Gary, with the first day of school. What's in store?
Well, the kids will have to bring an umbrella. Most of the time it won't be raining. I mean, we've been in a wet weather pattern now for over 2 weeks, and it looks like it'll continue at least for a couple more days before we have a chance to dry out. But I do have alert days in the forecast for tonight, tomorrow, and for Wednesday for showers and thunderstorms that basically will bring heavy downpours anytime you have a thunderstorm around. And there are just many areas of southern Wisconsin that don't need any more rain. Even light rain is going to cause issues, but the heavier the rain, obviously, the bigger the problems are with flooding. 5-day precipitation estimates, 3 to 9 inches or more through much of far southern Wisconsin through northern Illinois. That's where the heaviest rain has been recently. And you have to remember, you go just beyond that 5-day period and you go to the areas in the northern part of our viewing area, north of Dane County. That area had very similar amounts down to than we're seeing down to the south. So it's been a 1-2 punch, and so just about everybody has received very heavy rain. Now, in Doppler track, surge of showers and a few thunderstorms is lifting northeastward across southern Wisconsin, but as we widen out the picture, now you start to see little clusters of storms firing up to our south and west. Some of these have been close to severe limits, so we'll have to watch out for the possibility for an isolated storm that produces gusty winds and hail. In addition to the heavy rainfall threat, Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms, mainly for this evening for areas south of Madison. And then for tomorrow, mainly tomorrow night for areas north and west of Madison, as a cold front starts to approach and another round of showers and thunderstorms develops from later tomorrow night into the day on Wednesday. And if you look at the rainfall potential through late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, look at some of the amounts the computer is generating. Now, again, it's hard to picture exactly where the heaviest rainfalls will fall, but generally about 1 to 3 inches of rain expected over southern Wisconsin, and actually much of the state, with some localized 4, 5, and 6 inch amounts in areas that get the heavier thunderstorms, and that might be areas farther to the north and west, back toward the La Crosse area. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville and the WISC Skycam, pretty much the same story. Low gray clouds. Right now, not raining here, but it could rain at any point. Edgewater Skycam also showing cloudy skies. High today in Madison held down because of that cloud cover. Only 73 for the high temperature. That's 4 degrees below normal. But the low temperature of 69, almost 15 degrees above average. And that's because the air is just so humid. Right now we're at 73 with a light rain shower being reported at the airport. Winds out of the east-southeast at 8 miles per hour. And that dew point temperature, 72 degrees. The air is just loaded with moisture. As we look at weather track, you can see the surge of rain moving northward through Wisconsin. To the south, there is Tropical Storm Gordon. That bears watching because that moisture from Gordon will eventually hit near the Gulf Coast region, perhaps as a minimal hurricane. But then some of that moisture could head northward toward the Midwest toward the end of the week or next weekend. That bears very close watching because if that happens, all bets are off, at least as far as trying to dry out here. Current temperatures are held down where the cloud cover is thickest, where the sun is shining. Just to our south, temperatures are in the 90s across southern Illinois and southern Indiana, and the air is just loaded with moisture with dew point temperatures in the 70s as far north as southern Wisconsin. So 69 for the overnight low temperature with some showers and thunderstorms, maybe some patchy fog as well. Tomorrow, warm and humid with a chance of thunderstorms. It won't be raining all day. High temperature at 83. On future track, you can see the surges of showers and storms tonight, then a bit of a break tomorrow with a few showers and storms popping up in the afternoon. Tomorrow night, the next surge of rain arrives from the north and west, and that lingers into Wednesday as a cold front comes through. And like I say, those rainfall amounts 1 to 2 or 3 inches with localized heavier amounts of 4 or 5 inches and heavier thunderstorms. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, right now I have dry forecast weather for Thursday and Friday. Another round of thunderstorms from Friday night into Saturday and early Sunday, and then maybe a little more dry weather early next week with some thunderstorm chances toward the end of the week. As we take a look at first alert traffic, it's a holiday, so the Beltline actually looking pretty good shape. Just a few minor slowdowns from time to time. Right now, 14 minutes in either direction between University Avenue and the interstate. Southbound traffic starting to pick up as people come back from northern Wisconsin down toward the Chicago area. Right now, a half-hour commute from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. It's 17 minutes to Sauk City on Highway 12 and 15 minutes on East Washington Avenue out to Sun Prairie. That's your first alert traffic.
So 3 more days with chances for rain.
Well, again, depending on what happens with Gordon, that could make a big impact toward the end of the week, too.
Right. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you, Gary.
Okay.
And speaking of, up next on News 3 at 5, we'll have the latest on Tropical Storm Gordon making its way toward the Gulf Coast, how residents are preparing for the tropical storm's arrival. We'll be right back. Welcome back. For the first time ever, the White House is claiming executive privilege and blocking access to documents related to Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh during his time serving President George W. Bush. This comes as the Senate is getting ready to begin Kavanaugh's confirmation hearings. Mola Lenghi has the story from Capitol Hill.
Democrats say President Trump is blocking access to documents they need to thoroughly vet Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. The records are from his time as a lawyer in President George W. Bush's administration.
So help me God. Congratulations today.
Senator Chuck Schumer called the decision a Friday night document massacre and added that it has all the makings of a cover-up. The White House responded saying it's turned over more than 400,000 documents, more than any other Supreme Court nominee.
This isn't normal. It's not normal because we are not able to see 100,000 documents that the archivist has just, because the administration has said we can't see them. They've exerted their executive power.
Democrats will try to make the case that if confirmed, Kavanaugh will side with President Trump if he tries to shut down the Robert Mueller probe into possible collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia.
He's, in writing, has said you should throw out the special counsel statute.
At least one Republican suggested that Kavanaugh could try to overturn Roe versus Wade, the landmark Supreme Court ruling which made abortion legal in every state.
If there's a case before him that challenges Roe v. Wade, that he would listen to both sides of the story, apply a test to overturn precedent.
There appears to be little Democrats can do to block Kavanaugh's confirmation.
Republicans are very optimistic that he is going to be confirmed with the support of all the Republicans and probably a couple Democratic votes as well.
Kavanaugh will take his seat on the Supreme Court if he gets 50 votes. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Republicans don't need any Democrats to support him if they all vote yes. However, a couple of Democrats who are up for re-election in red states could vote yes as well. Trade will once again be front and center this week. President Trump sent several tweets over the weekend threatening to lock Canada out of a new North American free trade agreement. Today, the president tweeted the U.S. has tremendous upside potential as we go about fixing some of the worst trade deals ever made by any country in the world. Big progress being made. President Trump has threatened Canada with more tariffs on car imports if it doesn't join the new agreement. Over the weekend, Teamsters President Richard Trumka said there is no NAFTA without Canada.
The three countries in North America, the economy is pretty integrated. And it's pretty hard to see how that would work without having Canada in the deal.
Trumka criticized some of the Trump administration's economic policies, which led to another tweet saying Richard Trumka, the head of the AFL-CIO, represented himself and his union poorly on television this weekend. The president told Congress he wants to sign a new NAFTA, even if it's with Mexico only, before the end of the year. Later this week, President Trump will make campaign stops in Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota, three states that rely heavily on trade with Canada. Residents along the Gulf Coast are bracing for severe weather as Tropical Storm Gordon bears down. John Schumo has the latest.
This holiday weekend, an unwelcome guest. Tropical Storm Gordon is crashing the party, emptying beaches and cutting Labor Day festivities short.
We saw the gusts of wind and the rain falling, and we were like, okay, this is not what we expected.
In South Florida, Miami Beach police advise residents to stay indoors with rough surf and powerful winds gaining strength.
The rest of our vacation will probably be indoors. We were supposed to go to Disney World, and so we may not actually get to visit that.
The National Weather Service is warning people the storm surge and drenching rains could flood streets.
Oh, it's pretty deep. Like, if you go too fast, you'll mess up your whole car, really.
Forecasters are keeping a close eye on the storm as it enters the Gulf of Mexico. Storm watches and warnings were in effect for parts of Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, where sandbags are being filled to protect homes and businesses.
It is going to have the opportunity to intensify and become even better organized as it heads towards the central Gulf Coast states as we head into tomorrow morning.
Gordon may drop close to 10 inches of rain on some Gulf Coast residents still reeling from hurricanes a year ago. John Schumo, CBS News.
Gordon is expected to reach coastal Mississippi and Louisiana by late tomorrow and move inland on Wednesday. A final check of the forecast with Gary when we come back.
derby is one of the fastest growing sports in the world, and this is called the Pain Train. Coming up on the CBS Evening News, how these women are inspiring the next generation to get involved.
That's straight ahead tonight, but first, Gary has a severe weather update.
Yeah, nothing going on around here, but if we take a look at high-resolution Doppler radar, look at that. Tornado warning in parts of eastern Iowa into areas south and west of Dubuque, Iowa. Nothing imminent, but that storm, if it holds together over the next couple of hours, will be tracking toward the southern portion of Grant County. As we take a look at high-resolution Doppler track, you can see the main rain shifting north and east. Now we're starting to see those thunderstorm clusters pop up to our south and to our west. Look at the precipitation potential through early Thursday morning. 1 to 3 inches with localized heavier amounts of 4 or 5 inches of rain possible on top of what we've already gotten. So alert days in the forecast through Wednesday, maybe some dry weather Thursday and Friday, and then more thunderstorm chances over the weekend and later next week.
All right, thanks, Gary. We'll keep an eye on it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. We'll hope to see you back here for News 3 at 6. The CBS Evening News is coming up next.